Imagine this for a second. You're staying silent, committed to no contact, focused on rebuilding yourself. No messages, no late-night calls, no social media lurking. You're following the plan. But then it hits you. She's gone silent too. No texts from her, no random likes, nothing. The silence begins to stretch, day by day. What started as a strategic move now feels like a psychological war zone. You start to wonder, is this working? Is she thinking about me? Or has she just moved on? That's where it begins, the mental spiral. The silence becomes deafening. Most men crumble here. Not because they're weak, but because silence feels like a game with no rules. And when you don't understand the rules, you start trying to control what isn't yours to control. But let me stop you right there. Because her silence, it's not always passive. Sometimes it's a move, a calculated decision, a power shift, a test of emotional dominance. And here's what no one tells you. Silence only dominates you if you let it. Welcome to Stoic Blessing, where we take life's toughest emotional battles and turn them into lessons in power, presence, and self-mastery. Today's topic: what to do when she's also doing no contact. This isn't about ghosting games, it's about emotional warfare, and winning doesn't mean getting her back. It means getting yourself back. The Stoics had a simple truth. You have power over your mind, not outside events. That's your weapon. Not panic, not begging, mastery. Your focus needs to shift away from her actions and back onto yours. Because no contact isn't about who misses who more. It's about who stays grounded when the emotional winds start to blow. Let's go even deeper. Dark psychology teaches us something crucial. Power always belongs to the least reactive person, the one who can hold tension without breaking. When she's silent, she's showing her hand. Maybe not directly, but her silence has meaning, if you know how to interpret it. Here's what most men get wrong. They think the silence is about her pulling away, but it's really about you stepping in, to your own power. Drop a comment right now and write, I choose power over reaction. That's your first act of self-mastery. This isn't about chasing someone else's attention. It's about standing firm in your own energy. And if you're ready to fully commit to this journey, hit that like button, not just for the channel, but to prove to yourself that you're not here to play emotional tug-of-war. You're here to rise above it. So what do you actually do when she's doing no contact too? You flip the script. Because this isn't her test. It's yours. Let me break something down that most people never hear. No contact isn't about making her miss you. That's the surface-level view. The real value is the space it creates for you to meet yourself again. The version of you that doesn't beg, doesn't chase, and doesn't crumble under pressure. The ancient Stoics had a term, apatheia, freedom from emotional disturbance. They taught that peace comes from within, and the only true control you have is over your own thoughts, emotions, and actions. The rest? Not your business. When you internalize that, no contact becomes powerful. Not because it gets a response from her, but because it gets a response from you. A new, stronger version of you. Silence hurts because of attachment. When you tie your self-worth to someone's presence or attention, their silence becomes your suffering. But when you detach, not stop caring, just stop depending, you become unshakable. Let's reflect on this. Drop a comment that says, "Silence is my strength." Say it, mean it. This is about building a version of you who doesn't need validation to feel valuable. Now let's add the edge. From a psychological standpoint, silence isn't just a tool, it's a disruptor. If she's used to you always being the first to reach out, your silence shatters that pattern. And people don't like uncertainty. It forces them to wonder. What's going on? Has he moved on? Is he seeing someone else? That's scarcity, that's unpredictability, that's mystery, all of which are magnetic if you're grounded. But here's the trap. If your silence comes from anxiety, she'll feel it. If it comes from strength, she'll feel that too. Silence only works when it's genuine, when it's not a move to get her back, but a move to get yourself back. So instead of obsessing about her, start asking, who am I becoming right now? Drop this in the comments if you're serious. I am the master of my silence. Let's go even deeper. Why might she be doing no contact too? Here are a few truths you need to consider. She could be mirroring you. Many people respond to silence with silence, not because they're strong, but because they're uncertain. It's a defense mechanism, not always a power move. She might need space too. Maybe she's healing, maybe she's confused. It's not always about control. It could be her own path to clarity. Or yes, she might be testing you, seeing if you'll chase, seeing if you'll break first. People don't always say what they mean, but silence, it speaks loud. Here's where the game flips. If she's doing no contact to test you, your silence becomes the answer. Let her wonder. Let her sit in the mystery. Your job isn't to decode her silence. Your job is to become someone who doesn't flinch when others withdraw, someone who uses solitude to evolve. So ask yourself this: what does your energy say about you right now? If you're still with me, type it in the comments. I thrive in my silence. This isn't about winning her back. It's about earning yourself back. Now let's address the biggest mistake guys make when she goes silent. They break, they chase, they send the just checking in text. They fall apart trying to force certainty. But the moment you do that, you've already lost control of the story. You've confirmed that your emotions are tied to her behavior, and that's not power, that's submission. Stoicism teaches us that freedom lies in restraint. He who is brave is free. Brave enough to resist, brave enough to be alone. You don't chase, you don't beg, you become. Because when you don't react, you tell the world, I don't need to force anything, I already am everything. So what happens when you don't chase? You reclaim your power. You reset the dynamic. Your silence becomes your signature, not a desperate tactic, but a declaration of inner peace. This isn't manipulation, it's transformation. If you're ready to live from this place, drop a final comment. I control my story. Let's lock that in. Because no contact isn't the end of a relationship. It's the beginning of a new relationship with yourself. Remember, power isn't loud. It's silent. And so are you.